there, folks. My name is Pravus. Welcome back to more Europa Universalis 4, playing as the Purple Phoenix. Byzantium, now controller of pretty much all of the Balkans. I mean, with the exception of a little bit of border gore, but come on. I didn't actually think that the Ottomans would spend the admin power to move their capital, so it seemed like a good idea at the time, but I regret it now. Anyway, we're in a really good position right now. Between myself and my vassal Bulgaria, we're looking very strong. When these guys die, we are going to inherit all their territory. The question becomes, what am I going to do next? Well, there's a couple of different directions I could certainly go. I think we're going to have to fight Venice next to take over the rest of their Balkan territory up here. And while I'm at it, if I can find a way to sneak an attack against Ragusa so that they are not properly defended by the Emperor or, let's say, Venice as well, right? So it's just me versus the Pope. That would be kind of an ideal situation for me, but I have to wait for a truce to expire by 1489. So this is an easy expansion. I do kind of need the rest of the Serbian territory at some point. So my alliance with Austria-Hungary is not going to last forever. I'm going to use them as long as I need to beat up on the Ottomans and on Venice. But once they've served their purpose, we're going to have to find an excuse to actually start taking them down with some new allies. Long-term, Muscovy and France might be my best pickups here, because I might be able to use France to also fight Castile so I can take over the rest of Naples. The Mamluks have been useful up to this point, and some of you guys might say, oh, why are you allied up with the Mamluks? Well, if we know we're going to fight them long term, like, why would you be allies? It's precisely because I know I'm going to be fighting them long term that I'm allied with them. And that may seem weird to you, but think about this. They also want to eat up the Ottoman territory. And by allying with them, not only can I control the pacing of their wars and their truce timers, but by calling them in and I'm the war leader, I get to decide what goes around and give nothing to the Mamluks. So they are exhausting themselves to basically give me land, and they are weakening themselves to get nothing. That's kind of the reason I'm doing this. It's actually a very effective way of keeping the Mamluks under control to some extent and denying them this land, using their power for my own, and then when the time comes for me to fight them, I'll be in a much better position. That's kind of my thought process, but I love playing the diplomatic game in EU4. It's one of my favorite things to do. Oh, Castile has rivaled me. That's not good, but okay. Anyway, our economy at least is starting to look a lot better, which is great. Part of that is the fact that we did just take Kosovo, now Dardania, which is going to have that gold mine. I'm going to core this sucker up, and I'm going to make sure we dev that about as much as we think we can. I really want to get a lot of good production value. That's going to give me so much extra money. Yeah, it's going to give me inflation problems, and that's an issue, and my inflation already is way too high because of the number of loans we had to take just to get to this position. But now that we're starting to make a halfway decent amount of money, my hope is we're going to be able to start gradually bringing this back down. Oh, we do have access to cannons now, by the way, so I want to make sure that we have a couple of those going on, because that's just going to make it a lot easier for me to start burning down some early game forts. Even 1 or 2 cannons per stack can be a pretty big deal. And by the way, it does look like I would be able to get the knights to become a vassal for myself, just so I don't have to fight against France in the future, which would be nice. To do that, though, I need to somehow get another 100 opinion. I'll get 45 over time. That's somewhat 50 I need to get back. I honestly don't know that I can get enough out of these guys. Like, I can get up to a maximum of, what, 25 opinion just from sending a gift. Anything else? I mean, no, I don't really think so. I guess I could try to spend some favors, get them to break the alliance with France, and then maybe I can kill them myself. That's a little bit mean-spirited, but honestly, I think that's not a bad idea, because then I don't have to waste my relationship slot on these guys, because I am over by 1, and I don't think it's worth it. I am comfortably sitting pretty far ahead of time right now in my tech, which is nice, so I'll be able to start getting some ideas or be more aggressive with usage of my military power, start getting some development. I want to get that core creation cost reduction so badly. It would be very, very useful to me. And as far as some missions go, there are some things we can be doing, trying to dev up Constantinople in particular. There's a really nice mission down here called City of World's Desire. There it is. If we can get up to 40 developments in our capital, plus we have a temple, a workshop, and a barracks, and we have the highest development in Constantinople of all of my cities, we'll be able to get some pretty nice buffs, boosting up the tax building to a cathedral, get the workshop into a counting house, get the barracks into a training field, province governing costs gets reduced for the rest of the game, local governing increasing costs, so now it just doesn't, we basically have more coring we can do, which is great, and also centralize all wealth, can concentrate development with no losses. Seems a little bit ridiculous to me. And we can expand the system of tolls on the passage through Bosphorus. So, like, there's a lot of really cool things to do there. Question is, do I want to spend my military power deving this up, or do I want to just pillage other people's capitals? I think you all know what the answer will be, but, you know, that's a goal. That's something we certainly could do. All right, we can finally get ourselves a war goal to use against Venice. Spoleto, right here. Spoleto? Yeah, that's, I think, well, it used to have a fort, didn't it? Yeah, it has a fort on it. So that's going to be a little bit of a pain to take. We could just go for Herzegovina instead and make that an easy one to start getting the ticking war score. Seems fine to me. All right, so now we're able to do our war there, which I think I do want to do, and I want to call Austria in on this one, but I also really want to get that claim on Ragusa. I have to make this war last until 1489 so that Austria can't join. That is going to be the goal. And I don't think that's going to be a problem. We can make a war last for 3 years without any issue, really. So let's just go ahead and declare this now. Here we go. We're going to destroy some of their ships. Say goodbye to your navy, boys. And it looks like Venice just got beaten down. If we can get in here quickly. Oh, Venice just got stack wiped. Well done, Austria. Okay, let's go ahead and work on things like Treviso and see if we can't take that down. If I can hold out a little bit longer with Austria, by the way, I could also go fight against the Knights, since they don't have any ally besides Genoa at this point. Genoa being another nation I want to break away from France to make it easier for me later on. Did Austria become the head of the HRE again? No, now it is Brandenburg. So why would Austria even be inclined to defend Rhodes? My guess, they're defender of the faith, right? Yeah, Austria is a new defender of the faith. That's going to be a problem for me, since I will likely be fighting a lot of Catholics in the future, but if we are clever with it, maybe we can keep him out of things. He's kind of a useless defender if I keep calling him into various different wars, right? Let's go ahead and grab the next level of religious ideas. I know I need this admin power for some coring, but that core creation cost reduction is massive. 25% is a very good pickup for me, so I'm happy with that. Interesting, Austria. You have decided you're going to occupy Spoleto instead of giving it to me, huh? Not a fan of that arrangement. Let me guess, you got claims? Yeah, they got claims in this entire region, too. This is another reason I think that my alliance with Austria-Hungary is only going to last for so long, because at some point they're going to be wanting all the territory that I'm taking. They also want the Balkans. Not going to let them have it, though. You know, it'd be kind of fun taking a nation like Mantua and turning it into a vassal. That's probably not a very practical idea, though, right? I mean, that would put me at odds in northern Italy and areas I probably don't want to be fighting over. Do you have, like, a bunch of claims or cores or anything? I don't think you do. Nah, they're not that valuable. It's a fun idea. That's the thing. Remember that as the Byzantines, with my special government form, I can create client states this early in the game. So if I wanted to just start creating some states and feeding them territory, that's kind of the way you're supposed to play the Byzantines. Take my basic territory, start feeding vassals, and when you feel like they're in a good spot, revoke their inheritance laws and just inherit everything for free. It's really powerful if you're going to invest heavily in it, which I'm not at that stage yet, but someday that will be fun. All right, at this point, Venice is basically dead. But I am not interested in ending the war as of yet. It is far more important. We just go ahead and get ourselves in position to go and deal with Ragusa. I've just got to hold out for about a year. I don't think it's likely that the Austrians will peace out, so I hope not. Unconditional surrender. Dang it. I was kind of forgetting that they might do something like that. November 1489 is all I've got to wait for. The Ottomans would now defend them. Maybe a Ragusa is not worth taking yet. Maybe it's worth waiting on that for a moment. It was one thing when the Ottomans wouldn't do anything. But now that they will, I mean, they're very likely to do it. Okay. I can wait on Ragusa. It's not critical that I take that right now. What would have been nice is to go ahead and take down the Knights, but that's also a couple of years from now. I might have more opportunities to deal with that. I just got to find another excuse to call in Austria to something. When does my truce with the Ottomans expire? Not until 1496. Moldavia. I could fight Poland. But if I brought in Austria, Muscovy would join. That's interesting. You really do not like the Austrians. Huh. Well, I can't go mano-a-mano against Poland, so that direction's kind of blocked right now. What about Genoa? Because the reason I wanted to fight against, like, the Knights is that I can fight Genoa without having to fight France. I really don't want to have to fight France on my own either. They're way too strong right now, and I still want them to be an ally. So does this mean that once again I'm kind of stuck? I think so. Until certain truces end and networks kind of break apart, I'm not in a position to really force the issue yet. I think I have to be patient again. That's kind of the hard part. You're playing this game, and you have a lot of really good opening moves, and you build up a power base, and we're going to continue investing in that power base, getting stronger over time. But sometimes you got to be patient and wait for your attack of opportunity. And that's kind of where I am right now. I'm sitting around waiting for an attack of opportunity. Taking Venice as a city would be a bit of a move. That'd be a really hard move to defend. It'd be really fun to take it. It really would. But I don't think that's wise. I don't think pushing up over here in general is wise yet. But the rest of this that I have claims on, absolutely. I could ask them to release a few nations. Now that would be interesting, a good way of really messing up Venice. One of my missions is to basically destroy Venice, take the city and remove the tag from the game entirely. So like if I remove Dalmatia over here, this would be a way of not giving the land to the Austrians and instead creating a new tag that I have to deal with while also weakening Venice. Could be okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to pillage their capital. I want to get myself some dev for sure. And I got 465 ducats. I could do all of this. This would be a bit of an interesting move. Let's do it. Happy with that. All right, cool, wonderful. Hey, Dalmatia, we should be friends, and you should... Oh, I have a core of your provinces. I can't vassalize you. Dang it! All right. Well, if I wait until 1504, 15 years, I might be able to attack you. We'll see what ends up happening with that. In the meantime, all right, cool, we win. More territory to core, but now it's a lot cheaper. Hooray! Oh, here's a funny twist, by the way. So Austria may be defender of the Catholic faith, but they've also just become malevolent, which means minus 20 reasons to join any wars on defense of the Catholics. That's a horrible defender of the faith. All right, so Venice is no longer a valid rival. I could rival Poland or Austria. Yeah, neither of those are very attractive options to me. I mean, I don't really like the idea of antagonizing Poland. I understand that at some point we likely will end up being at odds with them, mainly over Moldavia. But the thing is, like, if I wanted to get rid of Austria-Hungary, Poland-Lithuania would be a very valid ally. It's just, I think they'll be at odds with Muscovy as well, and that's going to end up being a bad alliance. So I don't necessarily think that that's going to be best. Persia, by the way, is looking surprisingly strong over here. What's going on? Maybe they could be a good ally for me someday. Not yet, but someday I might actually trade out the Mamluks for them. Use Persia to help start applying pressure in this direction, and I start taking over all the way down toward Egypt, grab those trade provinces around Aleppo and Alexandria. That could be pretty good. I am building a couple of new forts, by the way. It was fine when I had no money to delete a few of these, but now that we're going to be in a position where I know in the future I'll be fighting Austria-Hungary, I might end up going against the Ottomans by myself. I'm placing down a couple extra forts, mainly in some good mountain provinces, to make sure that most of my core territory is well defended. Constantinople, by the way, is now only 3 dev away from being the city of world's desire. Is it worth just spending the monarch points to do it now? I could just invest in military power. It's so expensive. If I can wait for like one more good war, we can probably get up there, and I don't have to waste the monarch points. And let's be honest, in EU4, as much as people like to complain about mana, it is kind of the most important system in the entire game. The abstraction that makes everything freaking work. You need to protect those monarch points, zealously. By the way, some people would probably tell me that I should keep Bulgaria as an ally, or sorry, I should say a vassal long-term. Bulgaria is actually pretty good. They've got some ideas that, if I recall correctly, end up being very good for... No, maybe not. Core creation costs? Was it them or Wallachia? One of them is really good. Oh, it was Wallachia, okay. With the discipline and the fort defense. Yeah, I plan on keeping these guys for a bit, so I guess I will just eat Bulgaria when their leader dies, and I'll probably want to end up feeding Wallachia and turn this into a northern buffer state for a good long while in the game. By the way, let's also look at our naval doctrine. We should be doing this because we have a unique one, as the Byzantines, called Tactica. 20% galley combat ability and a 15% ship disengagement chance. This is really good. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up. Yeah, it cost me some valuable money, but let's just do that. Make sure that my galleys, what remain anyway, are still as valuable as possible. I've lost quite a few over time. We may want to consider building out some more if I had some Navy force limit, which I do not. Ah, Austria declared war on Dalmatia. I was afraid they were going to do that, because they didn't have the truce timer that I did. I could have left my proclaimed guarantee on them, I suppose, but oh well. Alright, that's annoying. It's going to be a thing we have to fight over again, eventually. Cool. All they had to do was wait 1 month, by the way. In 1 month, I would have declared war on the Knights, called them in. Wouldn't have been an issue, but no. What do you mean, breaking a truce? 5 stability. I'm not going to break a dang truce. Not gonna break a dang truce. The truce expired. I gotta wait a whole extra stupid month. What do you mean? Stop it with this breaking truce nonsense. We don't have a truce, do we? Wait, do I? Hang on. Oh no! I have a truce. They don't have a truce with me, but I've got a truce with them until 1493. No! All right, it wouldn't have mattered then. Wouldn't have even mattered. At this point, I'm tempted to say, screw it, let's just freaking fight Austria. How you doing there, France? Do you like me at all? No. No, you don't, because of the Austria thing. Also, too many diplomatic relations. If I got rid of that, I would still be about 56 reasons shy of being able to get them to be my ally. So, yeah, we're nowhere close to being able to take them on our side. Nowhere close. Also, holy crap, Venice just got murderfied by the Pope. Wow! Okay. Well, dang, dude, I guess I need to murder the dang Pope. Okay, this is gonna get awkward fast. Better start getting some claims against them. You never know, could be useful. Oh! And actually, Austria just broke their alliance with me. Awkward. Okay. Huh, okay. We could declare war on Hungary, and since they're not a member of the HRE, that would be a way of fighting just Austria, which is a far more winnable fight if only my buddies Muscovy weren't horribly in debt. This complicates things a little bit now, because I can't call in Austria to do anything. And they're still the defender of the faith, so now fighting the Papal State looks very unattractive. So now my options with things like, let's say, the Knights have been kind of obliterated. But this is a way of fighting Austria without fighting everybody else. I just need to have one or two really strong allies, and we could pull it off. France, for their part, is probably going to be a little bit more inclined to like me, but not enough. This complicates my situation just a wee little bit. I guess we'll go ahead and rival Austria then, since it seems like we're not going to be buddies anytime soon now. What about Bohemia? There's a thought. They're allied to Muscovy. Bohemia. That could be an acceptable ally to me. They hate Austria. I could see myself making use of that, and between them, Muscovy, and myself, we're in a good position to continue fighting around in the HRE. Yes, I think Bohemia is an acceptable replacement at this stage. Just trying to do the numbers here, like, if I were to call Bohemia into a war, it's a fairly even fight. And that's just with Bohemia, let alone anybody else. Huh. Yeah, I do think that very soon we are going to be in a position where we have to get into that war. I think we can probably afford to do one more war against the Ottomans first, get a bit more territory, try to complete some missions, work along this coastline, and if I can find a way to fight against the Knights, that'd be ideal, but I really don't want to get against Austria here by myself. I need to bring in somebody. If I could bring in, I don't know, Georgia, or, I mean, I guess I could bring in the Mamluks, but, like, that's still not a great fight. I'm missing one puzzle piece here. One really important puzzle piece. I need one strong ally locally that can deal with this, and right now we don't have it. Oh, France would ally me now. Hello. Okay, that actually is still worth it to me, I think. That might be the puzzle piece I'm missing then. All right, so we're a little over our relationship slot limit, which is a problem. I could ditch somebody. I think I want to use the Mamluks one more time. Maybe just once, and that should be enough for me to just keep dealing with the Ottomans as needed. I could also try turning the Wallachia into a preneur, but they need to get their liberty desire down. That would solve the issue, though, right? Yeah, I would lose... My problem is I'd lose some force limit. I don't really like the idea of losing some force limit over this, but is it worth losing the Diplo power? Probably not. I don't know, man. No, it's not worth this yet. It's not worth it. I think I just have to eat this. I need to ditch an ally somewhere. I could lose Georgia. They're not that important to me. They're really not. But it would be nice to keep them on. I think that having France, Bohemia, and Muscovy alone are enough of a defensive network. Not many people will want to attack me throughout the game. The Mamluks I'll use one more time in just a couple of years. And then once we've exhausted them and destroyed the Ottomans down to something reasonable, we'll ditch that alliance and start thinking about how we can betray the Mamluks later. What I'm lacking is an ally down in the southeast if I do that. That's where Persia would have come in. So Georgia, I don't know, man. I feel like as much as I've enjoyed keeping this and they could be useful to me, maybe they're not a great option. Maybe. Alternatively, aren't we about to get some more... No, that's reputation. I thought maybe we'd get some more diplomatic relationships, but we already got that. If I had one more vassal, I could do strong duchies. Ironically. One more vassal, strong duchies, that would have solved the problem. But the Prenoia apparently do not count for that. So I'm not allowed to pass that for the estates, which sucks. And why Prenoia don't count toward that, I don't know. That seems a little silly to me. Doesn't it seem sort of silly? I think so. So maybe, I mean, I'm really theory crafting this a bit here. What if I attack the Ottomans and I release a single province from Karaman so that I can then reconquer all of their cores? And then I have 2 vassals, and I use strong duchies, which gets me the relationship slots, which removes Wallachia, and Karaman's no longer an issue, and then I'll have enough. Hey! Okay, maybe that's what I do. Is it complicated? Yes, but this is the sort of stuff you gotta do when you play EU4. Oh, Austria's declaring war on Ragusa now! Hey! You're not allowed to do this! Alright, fine. Well, now the Papal State is fighting against Ragusa. Hey, question. If I declared war on you, would you have anyone to defend you? Yeah, the Ottomans still. Boo! Do seem to have finished another mission here. Recover authority? What changed here? Oh, Patriarch authority finally ticked over 50%. Okay, good. So unlock the legitimization of the dynasty estate privilege, which can give me a few nice little bonuses if I'm above 33% Patriarch authority. Plus, Constantinople gets an upgrade to a cathedral, which is nice. And also, we reform the Byzantine monarchy. Cool. So I think if we do this, we're no longer going to have any pretender rebels issues, which is really nice. Let's take a look at that real quick, see what we got. Yep, we are indeed the reformed Byzantine monarchy. No longer do we have the autocracy where we're going to have any pretenders. We're just going to be getting all these extra benefits. Years of separatism -5 is really good. Monthly autonomy change, really good. And eventually, yearly absolutism is solid. So this is going to be an amazing tier 1 for us. The Ottomans are at war with Austria, by the way. Interesting. Good to know. We'll make use of that eventually. Oh, my heir fell ill. Oh, no, no, no. Please don't die. You're a pretty good heir. I want to keep you. No! Gosh, dang it all the heck and heck. Why do I always get the bad events? Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to say what we should do instead of worrying about the Ottomans is once our truce expires with Austria in less than a year, call on Bohemia and just go beat them up, because surprisingly, against all odds, Austria is apparently struggling in their war against Ragusa? I don't really know how they've managed to screw this up so badly. I mean, yeah, the Pope is a thing, sure, and the Ottomans and Crimea, but like, you wouldn't really think that it would be this much of an issue, and yet somehow it is. Go figure. So it really comes down to what's the better opportunity, and as long as the Mamluks don't then call me into a war against the Ottomans, my best opportunity is probably to go ahead and hit Austria and Hungary now, while they're in a really weak state. And that feels like a weird choice, but I do think it's the right one. So the numbers are pretty well in my favor right now. I don't know, I feel like we do it. I feel like we do. And I don't even have to fight the HRE in the process. It would have been awesome to pull in even more allies, but like this is a pretty good number, and they're still distracted getting attacked in their own core territory, so there's a limit to what they can do here. Plus, if I can feed Wallachia and stuff like that, take Serbia, this fulfills some serious objectives for me. So, like, I feel like we've got to give it a shot. All right, here we go. Let's do this. All right, here goes nothing. Let's see what Bohemia can do with me. I don't know how strong, realistically, we can expect the Austrians to be. The answer is probably pretty strong, unfortunately. Let's keep an eye on their army. I can see Austria moving around right here, and this is the big stack. If we can keep away from this, I think we're largely okay. Another government reform, tier 4. State and religion? I don't even remember which one I like here, to be honest. Pretty easy to get myself some clergy loyalty if we do that. We could also curtail the clerical privileges. Admin tech cost reduction's pretty great. I mean, I like that a lot. Temples and cathedrals give the province taxes and unrest reduction? Yeah, it's pretty good too for money and for maintaining things. Then more diplomats and all estates get loyalty equilibrium. That would make it a little bit easier for me to deal with estates later in the game. I feel like it's really hard to say no to admin tech cost reduction. That's so good. Also, no religious rebels whenever I seize land from the clergy. Also, less influence from them makes it easier for me to revoke estates when it comes necessary. I think it's fine. We'll do that. Ooh, here's a fun thing. Radical reforms! I get a lot of monarch points. Here's the thing, though. What I can do first, I can still click this event, but I can fire these advisors, so I can rehire them later, get all the power, and they're not gone. I can just get them again. Hooray! Sneaky little trick I learned pretty recently. Yeah, let's go ahead and start getting things like some Diplo rep, try to get through the rest of these ideas. We're pretty decently close to finishing up with Diplo, and I'd love to have that Diplo tech cost reduction going for us as well. Looks like the Pope has decided, Austria has decided they want to mostly fight against the Pope while Bohemia runs around up here. That is great. Stay distracted, please. Looks like the Ottomans just pieced out with Austria, which is annoying, but okay. Got kind of what we wanted out of them for now anyway. We're making progress on pretty much all of the Hungarian forts, which is a good way of getting a lot of war score. Austria's trying to get their capital back, which we do want to prevent. But without some support, I don't think that's likely to work out for us. Maybe Bohemia can stack wipe a couple small groups and then we go deal with them. Hey, Bohemia, you want to come over here and we can go deal with this together? You and me? Together, buddy? Let's go, let's go. Come on, get down here. All right, let's see. I think this will work. Yep. That's enough reinforcements. We should easily able to deal with that. Vienna remains under my control. Why did I just laugh like that? That sounded incredibly stupid. Do a quick siege split, get down over here. Oh, it looks like you ate Ragusa. Thank you, Austria. Maybe I can take Ragusa now. And the important thing is I've got all of Serbia sieged down over here as well. So if we can siege Ragusa and such, that would be great. Hold on, looks like Austria wants to come down here. No, you're going after my buddy Bulgaria. I'm not gonna let you do that. Don't even think about it. No, he wants to unsiege this land. Okay, that's fine. You sit there and glower at me. See how little I care. Never mind, they did go for it. You tricked me. All right, let's run in there. No, don't lose. Ugh, I think we saved him. Barely. Speed 5 is one of those things where you just start going so fast, you just kind of stop really paying attention, but it's fine, we got him. Look, my brain can only process so much, but I refuse to stop being one of those players who just goes speed 5 pause, speed 5 pause, speed 5 pause. It's just the way that I process, I'm sorry. It's almost like I'm turning this into a turn-based game, but whatever, it's fine. No, Mamluks, stop attacking the Ottomans, dang it! All right, well, they're going for it. That's fine, when we're done with this, we'll go deal with them. Now the Mamluks have their own individual war. That sucks, but they're not going to call me in on anything, so it's okay. I'm not about to get overcommitted, is basically what I'm trying to say. Sieging down the last couple of forts up over here, we're at 83% war score. This should be pretty easy for me. If my vassals would just get around here and clear out this territory to make sure we hand everything to Wallachia, that'd be even better, but it's fine. An heir, a 254. Hey, that's almost as good as the kid who died. I'll take it. Which is great timing, because I just died! All right, now we get a regency for how freaking long? A 142 leader now, huh? Oh, who's Craven? Oh, good. Yeah, great. Thank you. All right, that's 96% war score. I'm going to call this good enough before we waste too much more manpower and money. So, what do I want? Well, a lot, actually. If we sue for peace here, I can ask all of Wallachia's cores to go back, which would be great. But then I can't take any of the land from Austria, so I kind of have to do it this way, unfortunately. We have to actually siege this down first, though, before I can have them return the core, so let's try that. There we go. All right. So now, return all cores to Wallachia. I want the Serbian cores here, plus Ragusa, and this. This is enough to at least satisfy me for the most part. I don't think there's a whole lot they're going to be able to do. Now, we have a coalition with Austria to worry about, sure, but like beyond that, who cares, right? We could take war reps, and a bit of extra money out of them wouldn't be a horrible thing, plus we could take a teeny little bit of money. Yeah, this is okay. Are we looking at taking any HRE land? I don't think so, which means I'm not even going to have to worry about all that either. We could hand some of this land over to Bulgaria if I don't feel like annexing it myself, and I'll be honest, I kind of don't. My question is, will it be cheaper from a war score perspective to give it to somebody else or to take it for myself? Let's find out. Yeah, it's more expensive. So we want to take it ourselves and then hand it over manually. That would be the better way to go. So, okay, I think this is ultimately what I'm going to do. We're going to take over the rest of the Balkan territory here. We're going to take over all of Serbia. Wallachia gets its cores back, so it's no longer an issue. And we get to punish Austria and siege some of their coffers. This seems like a pretty solid arrangement for me. I would call this a very, very, very successful war. So, let's go ahead and first complete some missions. So we should now have Vengeance at Bar, which gets me permanent claims on the entire Balkan region, plus the Carniola area. We have, for the rest of the game, a stability cost modifier and a governing capacity. And option 1, a strong example core creation cost reduction, gain military power. Or option 2, aggressive expansion, blah, blah, blah. I mean, kind of hard to say core creation cost reduction isn't the better way to go, so that's what I'm going to take. Plus, years of separatism is always very nice. So what are my core claims looking like? Very extensive. Like, all of these new claims just came into play over here. That is great. All right, let's hand some of this stuff over to Bulgaria, because I don't feel like coring it. In fact, I think I'm just going to literally give them all of this. I think so. There. That's all your problem now. We're splitting the load, and I only have to core these provinces down over here. And I do not need this many worthless forts. Get rid of this garbage one in the grasslands. What an insult. Okay, and now that my overextension is technically dealt with, we can actually start focusing more on the Ottomans, who unfortunately are already losing ground over here to the Mamluks, including around their new capital, which annoys me to no small end. I do not want the Mamluks taking this coastline, but I suspect that's about to be what they're gonna do. Hey, we're a great power now. Sweet! Brandenburg is demanding unlawful Oh, apparently this did get made into a member of the HRE. Huh. Well, no, frick you. I'm not giving that to you. That's just straight out a no. And now we're gonna have a lot of unrest issues and blah, 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 and that sucks. But I mean, like, I'm not giving that back. Frick off. What can you do? You're the emperor. Probably a lot. But I don't care. Anyways, yahoo. Ottomans, guess what time it is? We'll have to fight Crimea at the same time, but I'll be honest, I do not care. So hopefully Georgia does something useful. I see the Ottomans are down over here trying to unsiege their ground, and they are strong enough to be a little bit dangerous, but I think we're gonna be fine here. Province war score cost reduction is actually coming at a very good time. It's gonna make it easier for me to take a lot of land. And I wanna make sure we get some of these forts here along the coast before the Mamluks take too much. Hudavennegar would be a very good province for me to take. Not only is it their capital, but it is an important trade province I'd like to get my hands on. And we do have a mission to take this entire western coast of Anatolia, so I really don't want to share that with the Mamluks if at all possible. I don't see the Ottoman army. It looks like it's actually up here in Georgia. Okay. Good. Whoa, they just trained up a lot of units. Okay, maybe we can go ahead and just go stomp on a few of these guys before they get too many together. That's gonna hurt at least, okay. Except it looks to me like they're coming to attack me, and I'm not in a good defensive position. We have to pull back. That sucks. Colonialism just fired. Okay. They're sitting here trying to unsiege Biga. Yeah, okay. Mamluks, you're not really doing a lot. You want to get in here and, like, actually, like, I don't know. This would have been nicer if you had waited a moment. We could have coordinated our war effort, but no, that's too hard to do. Are you going into Genoa? Why are you going into Genoa? What? Why are you going into Genoa? Why do you have territory there? That's not allowed. Can I block you? I'd like to be able to block those straits. That would be super helpful. I don't know if he's stuck here or not, actually. If he is, that is hilarious, and I need to go siege Biga real quick and see if we can take it. Because if I can trap his 19 stack here, this war just got very easy. I don't know if it is, though, because Genoa is not technically involved in the war, and I don't technically control this. But the Mamluks have decided they want to come over here and try to kill him anyway, which might actually win and black flag them, in which case they're about to retreat where? Somewhere I can stomp, maybe? Do a little stomp stomp? Nope, they got stack wiped because they couldn't retreat after all. Hooray! All right, the Ottomans are now very, very, very easy to kill. All we have to do now is siege down the capital of Crimea and then wait for the Mamluks to end their war. Hopefully not take Biga and Hudavennegar, and then we just pop in here, grab the capital, and we should be able to 100% these guys if we're good, which I think we can. I'm going to sit here on Hudavennegar with this just so we could start a siege technically right away, if necessary. Georgia's doing their job in Trebizond. Thank you. Okay, Crimea's full siege, literally just waiting on the siege here of Trebizond. And let's go wreck the Ottoman Navy. I'll probably lose a couple of ships out of the arrangement. Never mind, I'll capture a couple of ships out of the arrangement. Good. Now I have 78% war score. All right, Mamluks, that's all you're getting. So I'm gonna sit here and wait for you to be done. Of course, now we have rebels all over the place for the peasants. You know what, actually, this works in my favor. Let the peasants siege down Biga, then I'll kill them and take this. Like so, okay? Unconditional surrender by the Ottomans. That's great. Can you please get the Mamluks out of this first? Because I really want to take Hudavennegar. Then again, if I let the Mamluks go first, there's a good chance they take, like, all the money. Maybe I can live without this, but I can make progress on literally everything else. You think? Well, I'm definitely taking this, for one thing. Like, that's not optional. And I'll take both sides of the strait, and then I think we just work our way down this coastline along here. Where else did I have claims? I've got one here as well. So all the way down here to Teki. And that's about it, I think. So aside from Hudavennegar, we actually could grab pretty much everything, which is good. What else would I want? Would I want to start working a while on the top? I mean, I'm going to get a bunch of free claims if I just don't go too crazy right now. I could take this, pillage the capital here, And then just take war reps and money, of which you have a decent amount, actually. And sure, there's a potential coalition between Ottomans and Austria, but who cares? So it really comes down to how badly do I want Hudavennegar? And the answer is pretty badly. I'm willing to wait a little bit and see if the Ottomans just end this, but I doubt that they're going to. I think I'm going to get stuck with this. Let's go ahead and finish up our diplomatic ideas, though. So now Diplotech cost is a thing. Thank you. So that's done. Also got the missionary strength plus 3%. That's cool. We even could start doing some conversions now, and it's relatively cheap. Come on, Mamluks. You've got to be, like, ready to be done, right? You've got their capital. Like, I don't know what your goal was for this war. And this one right here, you've got the ticking war score. Surely you're about ready to be done. Did the Ottomans not unconditionally surrender to you too? No? I don't think I can sit on this forever here. I think I have to just take this. I'll take a little less money so I get like 1 year off of the truce timer, but I think that's going to have to be it. We're also going to get a lot of overextension. Hold on, I didn't even think about that. We already cored everything, so we're good to go. All right, we have to do this, unfortunately. Boom. Would have liked to have done more. Thanks for that one, Mamluks. Whatever. I'm not mad. You're mad. Shut up. But it's all dirt cheap, which is great. And now that I've got my core back, like, that's all of this taken care of. Score, dude. Score. Go ahead and pay off all my loans, so I'm finally debt-free again. Huzzah. Dev up Constantinople a couple of times. That means we now do have the City of World's Desire, so we're about to get a lot of big governing boosts. Bada boom. That's a lot of benefits right there, ain't it? A lot of benefits. Plus a lot of early upgrades in some of these buildings. I mean, getting things like, you know, a counting house to replace my workshop and get extra production efficiency on gems. Solid, very solid. Plus, since I already had a cathedral, we just got a couple of extra base tax. So that was worth a surprising amount of monarch points to just save right there. That was pretty great. Now, I do think that it would be very nice to be able to go ahead and fight against the knights, because this is a way of me getting into a war against Genoa, take the last of the islands up here, and then once their influence is fully kicked out of this region, we can complete some other missions that way too. So I feel like this is a thing we've got to do, and I'll call in Georgia for the heck of it. Sure, why not? So we're going right into another war, but that's fine with me. Just fine with me. Oh, we just got a bunch of nice stuff too. Phoenix Rises, just got 150 monarch points. That's nice. Turns out when you take a lot of land away from the Ottomans, the game likes that. Now, we're going to have to deal with, like, Siena coming in over here. That's going to be an issue. We want to go siege down Genoa proper, but I think we'll be able to take care of that. I just want to siege down the knights first. Could also just go ahead and transport a bunch of troops over here, though, just to slow them down in Naples. I don't really want them messing with me there. And Georgia will take care of the provinces up over here. Whoops! Genoa had a large army over here. Didn't realize that. Pull back! Yeah, not contesting that right now. No, thank you. And for good measure, I'll just go ahead and call in the Mamluks real quick. Why not? Maybe their navy can help me just ward off the Genoese, and maybe they can get up here and do something. I don't even know. Let's go ahead and run down here with an army and see if we can't siege down Genoa proper real quick. They don't have a very strong fort here, it doesn't look like, so this should be easy. Oh, it is a world port, though. That's nifty. My goal, though, is just to take down the capital so I can just get what I want from Genoa and be done with it. I'm not looking to do much with this for very long. We don't want this war to last for very long. It's not going to benefit me one way or another. You know what's funny is I am not supposed to be recording this right now at all. I have other things I need to be doing today instead of playing EU4, but ever since I started up this campaign, I'm like, oh right, I freaking love this game still, don't I? I forget, because unfortunately after the whole 3 mountain situation with Ryukyu, I just kind of forgot for a very, very long time that I actually do still love this game, but considering how hard it is to find good strategy games nowadays, like EU4 still just stands out as like, this is the best. I'm sorry, it is. It's just the best. Ooh, Siena, you're done already. Nice. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and pillage you. Would that do much? Nope, not much. Okay, cool. I could also make you into a Orthodox, but I'm not gonna worry about that. That seems unnecessarily mean. Stop with your alliance with Genoa, though. They don't deserve any friends. And I'll take whatever war reps and stuff I can get out of you. Thank you, bye. Siege of Genoa is done. Good. All right, we don't really want to fight this navy. Can I just retreat from this, actually? Because I don't think it's beneficial for me to fight this at all. Let's try to retreat. There we go. I think we lost 2 galleys out of the arrangement, but it's okay. Because otherwise, they're going to have reasons not to accept the deal. So, I know that I want to take this and this from Genoa. We could take some territory up over here. I could also just give it to Georgia for the heck of it. Do I really care about that, though? I don't know. I do really want to make sure that you are no longer allied with France. That's the big deal. because then France probably won't do anything with you in the future. Do you have a lot of money? Only 330 ducats? I'll be honest, that's disappointing, but okay. So could take Corsica. This would be a really bold, dramatic play, but it would also make it a lot easier for me to get claims on Western Italy if I so desire. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun, actually. I kind of like that idea a little bit. It's probably not very smart, but I like it. I'm gonna do it. I don't know that it's a very intelligent play, but it's one that sounds fun, and I kind of get to, like, flex my muscles at them a bit more, which I like, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Core that stuff up, and then, of course, with the knights, we need to finish you off, too. So we eat you, you're not worth much, this is no surprise, goodbye, done, okay. All right. Seems like a pretty solid setup for us. What can we do here? Go for a general? Sure, why not? I'll just get a really good general here. Losing my great power status because I haven't embraced colonialism? How dare you? I feel pretty smart. Really, though, it's fine. So we have grown our power substantially in this episode, and when Bulgaria dies, it's going to become very obvious just how strong we are. One province away from getting what I wanted out of the Ottomans. Now we're going to have to worry about the Mamluks over here pretty soon, unfortunately. We'll be breaking off that alliance and looking for something a little bit better, and I think now actually is the time to just go ahead and break that alliance and be done with them. Because we're not going to be making much use out of them from here on out, I think. First, I'll ask them for some money, because I think that's hilarious, and then we break that off. All right. So, this is interesting then. It's going to be Byzantium, Bohemia, France and Muscovy and Georgia versus all of Europe, and then somehow I need to be strong enough to actually go kill the Mamluks and finish off the Ottomans all by myself. Ottomans, no issue. Mamluks, a little bit of an issue. Also, I'm sorry, hold on, we got another mission. Economic independence. Sweet. So we get dominance in the Aegean for 20 years, galley combat ability. Cool. Also, indebted to the Emporii will no longer take mercantilism to do that. Also cool. So I can just start taking out loans pretty much willy-nilly. I like it. All right, we're gonna end this video here though, but I think we're making very substantial progress. From here on out, as long as we can maintain our power base, we're probably gonna see some longer jump cuts as we go. Because aside from these big wars, it's mostly gonna be sitting around and just kind of making sure that we get as much of a power base as possible, just kind of building up buildings, training up troops, blah, blah, blah. It's the power plays, the diplomatic moves, that's the stuff you're really going to care about from here on out. So we'll see how this turns out. Thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed. If so, I'd ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.